A manhunt is underway in Jacksonville this morning after an officer and a canine were shot. The latest on the investigation just ahead. And the government shutdown is entering day 34 now, and 2 federal judges are ordering the Trump administration to find a way to continue SNAP food aid. What the White House is saying and how this impacts East Texans this morning. And Houston lights up for the Dia de los Muertos. Music, food, and colorful dances honor Hispanic heritage and loved ones lost.
And despite a very cold start to the day, we are in for a much warmer end to the day. We'll take a look at how hot those temperatures are going to get in your full forecast coming up. So stay right there because Morning Y'all on CBS 19 Plus starts right now.
Together, we're putting East Texas first. You're watching Morning Y'all on CBS 19 Plus.
Right now, authorities are still searching for 64-year-old Bobby Michael Dennis. He is accused of shooting a Jacksonville police officer and a canine. The search for him also prompted Jacksonville ISD to cancel classes for the day. It's a developing story that we're following for you all morning long. Good morning, y'all. Thanks for staying with us on CBS 19 Plus. I'm Dana Dixon. Jesus Martinez has the day off. Well, it is definitely a little chilly as you get ready to head out the door this morning. We want to get over to meteorologist Joel Robinson in the Weather Center, who's talking about dressing in layers today. It is that kind of day in East Texas.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, we're off to a very cold start. You'll definitely need those layers for at least this morning, and then you'll want to trade that in for maybe some short sleeve clothes for this afternoon because those temperatures will be creeping up to slightly above average, which puts us right around the middle 70s. But right now, live look in Nacogdoches. It's a beautiful blue sky out there. We got the campus of SFA there. There's the stadium. 39 degrees is the temperature right now in Nacogdoches with a dew point of around 38 degrees. So expect a few hazy spots here and there because the dew point temperatures are so close to the air temperatures. This is kind of a recipe for maybe some areas of fog to develop in some parts of the area. But as far as we can see right now, at least on this camera, we're not seeing too much, maybe perhaps a little bit of a light haze outside. Also winds very calm, so no wind chill this morning. 34 degrees in Center right now, also 46 in Tyler, 48 in Jacksonville, and 47 degrees in Mineola. So quite the spread in temperatures here. All of us will have a chance to see some middle to upper 70s this afternoon with lots of sunshine. And for the next 3 days, a lot of the same weather expected for tomorrow, and then we heat up even more to the 80-degree mark by Wednesday. I'll show you what the rest of your 7-day forecast looks like coming up.
Thank you, Joel. New this morning, all Jacksonville ISD schools will be closed today for safety precautions due to that manhunt that is underway right now after an officer was shot as well as a canine. Now here's a look at the man who prompted a blue alert. This is 64-year-old Bobby Michael Dennis. He was last seen wearing all black and maybe driving a gray 2012 GMC Sierra with the license plate TRW 3919. Police say he's armed and dangerous, and if you see him, don't approach him. Blue alerts, like as in this case, can be issued when an officer is seriously injured in the line of duty. Now, this all started just after 4:30 Sunday afternoon near Lincoln Park along Churchill Street. CBS 19 was first on the scene, and this is what it looked like. A heavy police presence from Jacksonville Police, the Cherokee County Sheriff's Office, and DPS, among other law enforcement. At one point, the SWAT team was focusing on a shed where law enforcement thought Dennis was hiding. After a short while, though, of calling for him, he wasn't there. Residents are being asked to stay alert this morning and keep their doors locked.
That's the last thing I thought. I didn't think it was Mr. Dennis, you know, because like I said, I've never known him to be a violent person or anything like that. So, and I thought it was just, you know, something that just happened with some youngsters or something like that. But I never thought it'd be Mr. Dennis, you know, and this, you know, especially an officer being shot.
Here's one more look at the suspect in the Jacksonville police shooting. This is Bobby Michael Dennis. Again, he was last seen wearing all black. Police are urging you, if you do see him, do not approach him and call 911. We do have an update on the officer who was shot in Jacksonville this morning. We have learned the officer's surgery was successful and will be okay. A Crime Stoppers reward is being offered for information that leads to that suspect. Now to Nacogdoches County, the Sheriff's Office is searching for 2 men accused of trying to steal an ATM. The attempt took place at Highway 21 and FM 95 at 1:50 in the morning. The vehicle used was found on Loop 34 near Highway 21. It is suspected of being stolen from Diboll. Investigators are asking residents to stay alert and keep their vehicles and their homes locked. The Trinity Police Department is currently searching for a man who's wanted on felony assault charges. Now, this is the man they're trying to locate, Michael Dwayne Wise Jr. He's also accused of violating his probation out of Dallas County. If you have any information on his whereabouts, contact the Trinity County Police, or Trinity Police that is, or Crime Stoppers. Big deadlines for the Trump White House today as 2 federal judges have ordered the administration to say how it plans to comply with orders to continue SNAP food aid during the government shutdown. The shutdown is now in its 34th day. CBS's Jared Hill has the latest.
A countdown for food aid outside NRG Stadium in Houston. In Atlanta, cars lined up for donations, with the government shutdown snarling SNAP benefits for tens of millions nationwide.
We'll probably serve somewhere between 800 and 1,000 households today.
Today, the Trump administration is facing a ticking clock of its own. 2 federal judges ruled Friday that the White House must continue to pay for the nation's biggest food aid program using emergency reserve funds while the federal government is closed. President Trump says he's asking lawyers to clarify how to legally fund SNAP as soon as possible. Rebecca Hall is a single mom of 5 working part-time as a nursing assistant.
I would surely give up a meal for my kids to eat. If it came down to me and eating, they're going to eat.
Concern for food aid comes as President Trump threw a Great Gatsby-themed costume party at Mar-a-Lago over the weekend. Democrats pounced.
He's been willing to give $20 billion to the Argentines and meet with them, wreck the White House, have a Great Gatsby party down at Mar-a-Lago. He has not done what he said needed to be done in 2011, sit down with Democratic leadership.
Democrats have been holding out on a bill to fund the government, urging Republicans to add an extension to Affordable Care Act subsidies, with premiums set to skyrocket.
But fine, let's negotiate it, but you have to do it with the government open.
34 days in and still no sign of serious negotiations. Jared Hill, CBS News.
Most states have announced increased or expedited funding for food banks and other ways to load at least some SNAP benefits onto those debit cards. The White House has argued that it wasn't allowed to use a contingency fund of about $5 billion for the program. And here in East Texas, emotions are running high as the federal funding for SNAP hangs in the balance this morning. To meet an expected growing demand in the area, the city of Longview, local nonprofits, and faith-based communities are launching a community-wide emergency food drive to stock pantries and lift spirits, and you can join them. It's happening this Friday, November 7th from 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. That's at the Longview Convention Complex. It's a one-day drive-through donation event, collecting non-perishable foods, hygiene items, and baby supplies. According to the East Texas Food Bank, around 18,000 individuals in Gregg County rely on this funding, and they're asking for donations from anyone who's able to help. Mayor Kristen Ishihara says this crisis has exposed just how many families rely on these food programs every single day.
Now is the time. There's no better day than today to get involved for your very first time, whether that's because you have a need today, but you can fill a need next month. You need to get involved in your community and know what the needs are so that you can be there to help serve when your time is right.
Inflation, that's affecting all these people. We have a number of families that have never had to rely on emergency food service before, a number of families that have never had SNAP taken away from them, especially during this time of year when we want to focus on giving thanks and helping our neighbors. It's just a tough situation.
If you can't make it in person, you can also donate funds online through the Greater Longview United Way. Every dollar collected will go directly to local food pantries to buy high-need items. 7:11, time for your morning headlines. The death toll from the latest earthquake in Afghanistan has risen to at least 19 people. The Afghan Red Crescent says more than 300 others were injured. Rescue teams are working to reach remote areas hit hardest by the quake. Philippine officials are ordering tens of thousands of people to evacuate as Typhoon Kalmegi approaches from the Pacific. The storm is bringing heavy rains and storm surges that could reach up to 10 feet. Kalmegi, with winds of 74 miles per hour and gusts nearly 93, is expected to make landfall in eastern Samar Monday before moving westward. Central Islands, which are still recovering from a 6.9 magnitude earthquake, could also be hit. Thousands of residents are being moved to evacuation centers, and disaster agencies are on high alert. Well, with the government shutdown in a new week, Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy says airport delays are going to get worse as the funding stalemate affects air traffic controllers. Duffy said the federal government will stop traffic if it becomes a safety issue. November, Election Day is tomorrow, and decisions are on the ballot across East Texas, from local races and bonds to statewide measures. CBS19 has put together a voter guide on our website, CBS19.tv, to help you know who and what will be on the ballot in your area. You can vote at any polling location in your registered county. For more information on times and locations, you can also check out your county's election website. If you'd like to get that voter guide sent straight to your phone, though, just text the word VOTE to 903-600-2600. Well, songs of celebration filled a tent at Sam Houston Park in Houston. Musicians playing for a huge crowd of onlookers at Houston's 5th annual Dia de los Muertos festival. To go with the sound of the music are the smells of Hispanic foods.
Songs of celebration filled this tent at Sam Houston Park. Musicians playing for a huge crowd of onlookers at Houston's 5th annual Dia de los Muertos festival. To go with the sound of the music are the smells of Hispanic foods and the sight of bright colors. These dancers are performing ballet folklorico, or traditional Mexican folk dancing.
Really fun dance, it's our way to express our culture, and really fun having people around you so you can connect.
It's inspiring, not only to those in the crowd, but the dancers themselves.
I felt so disconnected for a long time, and I finally found something that could help me connect to my roots, and I think dance is one of the biggest ways to do that.
The event downtown highlights Hispanic heritage and pays tribute to loved ones who have passed away.
It's always good to bring the community together. And
first-time attendee Jonathan Cortez bringing his 2 boys with him to take it all in.
It's our first time out here. It has amazing food out here, nice things to see. I mean, it's pretty awesome.
Organizers tell me seeing more and more people come out here every year is so great to see, and for them, it's their way of sharing their culture.
Every year we see more non-Hispanics just curious about this and wearing the headgear and the dresses and the face painting.
That love of Latin culture on full display during the nighttime parade, floats and performers filling the streets as the community comes together with one common goal:
to find ways to honor our ancestors.
And it looks like they did that in a big way out in Houston. All right, it's time to get to our daily question. Daylight saving time is here, whether we wanted it to be here or not. Some people love the extra hour of sleep, while others just wished the time would stay the same. Well, while your phone and other devices update for you automatically, the clocks around the house don't necessarily, and that means wall clocks, ovens, microwaves, even your car dashboard can easily get missed. But no matter what, it's easy to forget a few, so we want to know, which clock do you always forget to change?
Well, my car doesn't really do this anymore because it's actually automatic, but I used to always forget my car clock.
I thought my car clock would change. For me, it did not. I had to change it yesterday. I was like, why does it say that? It was wrong, so I did change it.
Yeah, there you go.
Let me fix that. For me, it's definitely the oven or the microwave. But this morning, I forgot to change several. Actually, I did change one of them, and I made it at the wrong time because I was looking at another clock that I forgot to change. And so my clocks went off an hour early this morning. It was,
oh, no.
I was like, what is... Why are things different? And at that hour, you're a little like, whoa, it's early.
It's all dark and stuff,
What is happening right now?
Right.
Yeah.
You know what? I also forgot to change the clocks on my weather radios.
Oh, you did?
I did. Wow.
You better get on that.
I better get on that.
All right, let's see what people are saying. Lance says the oven. Yes, I totally agree with you, Lance. Tiffany's going with the car, and Sissy says the microwave and the stove area. So, yeah.
There you go.
I haven't done, I don't think, any of those yet. Maybe the microwave. Maybe I changed it. I actually don't remember.
There's so many ways of telling time. You can't miss it.
Thank goodness we have, our phones that do it for us. Because back in the day, it could get dicey.
Sure, absolutely.
I sure do like that extra hour, but I don't know.
It getting darker a little earlier.
Yes.
It's a little depressing. But for me, I was telling my fiance this yesterday. There's just something also about it just that makes it a little bit more cozy. I don't know. Just we get, winding down a little earlier. And of course, growing up in the north, had snow falling at night.
Already at this time?
Not now, but like when it comes like December, that's when it really like adds to the coziness, you know.
Right.
So.
Well, I don't know if this next story is cozy, but it's interesting. Check this out. Sorting paper, glass, and plastic recyclables can be a chore, but imagine what it's like with thousands of tons of material. Well, new artificial intelligence tools helping some recycling plants make the process more efficient, but as Bradley Blackburn explains, they still need your help at home.
At this recycling plant in Berlin, Connecticut, multi-million-dollar machines move in every direction, sorting everything you can imagine.
It moves fast, very quickly. We process up to 50 to 60 tons an hour.
But blink and you might miss game-changing technology. Intelligent eyes closely watching it all.
That box is a supercomputer. It is, yeah.
The red boxes are from a company called Gray Parrot. Entrepreneur Ambarish Mitra believes artificial intelligence combined with high-speed cameras can help solve a massive global waste problem.
Large-scale AI should be used to actually increase efficiency to a level where almost nothing would be a waste. We want to build a world where we see every object as a resource and it can be recovered and it could be back into society.
The AI boxes can identify recyclables based on shape, labeling, and other criteria and warn if something sneaks through. The plant still needs plenty of human workers too, but AI helps maintain the purity of the sorted product, which ultimately helps recycling make money.
If it should notice that something's not right, it'll send us an alert, and we can go and see what's going on to make a change in the system. Even with technology, it's still an immense and expensive job to sort all this material. And what you do at home matters.
Tips include never putting items like lithium-ion batteries in recycling. They can cause fires here. It also helps to clean and sort your recyclables.
You need to follow the recipe or the instructions that's given by your local recycling coordinator. They'll tell you what should go in and what shouldn't.
Every little bit helps because it clearly adds up. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, Berlin, Connecticut.
All right, everybody, let's get into your traffic report this morning. Let's take a look at I-20 first of all. We got 2 hours over to Dallas, so nice and quiet on westbound. I-20 eastbound the same. We got some very quiet conditions there. We got an hour and 30 minutes over to Shreveport for you this morning. As for US 69, also very, very quiet. 2.5 hours up to Denison and an hour and 30 minutes down to Lufkin, so looking A-okay there. Some of the other routes, we got up to 55 minutes from Jacksonville to Nacogdoches, and then Tyler to Longview. That's a 40-minute commute for you this morning. Tyler to Palestine, if you're heading down that route, that's going to be about 55 minutes for you, and then 45 minutes from Tyler to Athens for you this morning so far. Taking a look at CBS19 live air, it is a nice clean sweep. We got nice clear skies overhead, and it is a gorgeous morning to be outside. We got a little bit of fog in some spots, especially near Mount Pleasant with less than a quarter mile of visibilities. So be careful if you're heading in that area. But otherwise, visibilities are looking fantastic. Even your green times 3-4 this morning. Temperatures starting out in the 30s and 40s. We'll make a run for the middle 70s for this afternoon with lots of sunshine and dry weather.
All right, coming up in sports, a classic rivalry in Buffalo as the Chiefs and the Bills go head-to-head yet again. We've got highlights coming up next on Morning Y'all on CBS 19 Plus.
It's time for CBS 19 Sports.
Hello and welcome to Sports. I'm Jimmy Searfoss. We're glad you are with us. You know, in this era, there really aren't a ton of new rivalries being played outside of your usual NFL teams. You got your Packers and Bears, Steelers and Ravens, Cowboys and I guess like everybody. But this one right here, man, this one has been one of the best in the last decade because these two guys are just so good and they always seem to meet. And we had another banger coming out of this series last night. This one going down in Bills Mafia Town. Josh Allen getting us kicked off here from the 23-yard line. And look at this toss, man. Just light as a feather into the hands of Dalton Kincaid. That's good. Verse 6, 23 yards out. Buffalo's early lead. Chiefs on the goal line. No Mahomes in the backfield. That's Rasheed Rice taking the direct snap, getting around the pile, untouched into the end zone. Little toss into the stands. Looked so good after that suspension. Like this one, though, untouched. Ty Johnson might have had a tough time doing this. Tougher than going into the end zone in the first place. Let me introduce y'all to the most loving tush push ever. Josh Allen getting a huge hug from his lineman. This one's crossing over the plane. Bills lead grows. Let's go to the fourth. Crowd's buzzing. Kareem Hunt feeding off of that. Gets a full head of steam. Barrels his way into the end zone. Final play of the game. Mahomes scrambling off his back foot. How did he throw it this far? Batted down anyways. Chiefs lose this one 28-21. Now the funny thing about this series since 2023, that it kind of is a similar pattern. They've consistently flipped the who wins and who loses. Chiefs lost, Chiefs win, Chiefs lost, Chiefs win. And it matters because that is actually pretty good that they lost today because those wins comes in times like these in the playoffs, not during the regular season, the playoffs when it matters. Hey, anyone watching the Broncos versus Texans game yesterday would be hurt watching the quarterback play early, but Texans fans a lot more. CJ Stroud went down after a big hit while sliding. He ended up leaving the game with a concussion. This one took a while to get going. Down in Houston, Knicks tossed this one earlier on to Cortland Sutton. This was his best throw of the day. Broncos get on the board late in the second quarter. Texans end up responding with a field goal. Something they did a lot yesterday. Keep in mind, 3 points, not as many as 6 points. Here's Knicks again, finding his running back. Looks to haul it in here. 27 yards. They end up converting the 2 points afterwards to tie it. Closing seconds now. Here's Will Lutz from 34 yards out with the game tied. It's good. Houston drops this one at home to the Broncos. Hey, Cowboys fans, they got to chill a little bit yesterday before they get to see their team play tonight. They play Monday night and decided to have some Halloween fun beforehand. They got Arizona in Dallas. Cowboys looking to climb back to 500 in that one. And you know, if they really wanted to get scary, they could have just dressed up as their defense. That's all I got for you. See y'all.
We're about to step away for a moment while we break into our over-the-air broadcast with a news update for you. We'll be right back with more here on CBS 19 Plus. Good morning, y'all. I'm Dana Dixon with your morning news update. New this morning, all Jacksonville ISD schools will be closed today out of safety precautions due to a manhunt still underway this morning for a suspect who took off after shooting a Jacksonville police officer and K-9 Sunday afternoon. Now here's a look at who police are looking for this morning. This is 64-year-old Bobby Michael Dennis. He was last seen wearing all black and may be driving a gray 2012 GMC Sierra with a license plate TRW 3919. Police say he's armed and dangerous, so if you see him, do not approach him. Now, the situation all started around 4:30 Sunday afternoon near Lincoln Park. That's along Churchill Street. CBS19 was first on the scene, and this is what it looked like when we got there. A heavy police presence from Jacksonville Police, the Cherokee County Sheriff's Office, and DPS, among other law enforcement. At one point, the SWAT team was focused on a shed where law enforcement thought Dennis was hiding. After a short while of calling for him, he wasn't there. Residents are being asked to stay alert and keep their doors locked.
That's the last thing I thought. I didn't think it was Mr. Dennis, because like I said, I've never known him to be a violent person or anything like that. So, and I thought it was just, something that just happened with some youngsters or something like that. But I never thought it'd be Mr. Dennis, and this, especially an officer being shot.
A blue alert is issued for Bobby Michael Dennis. Here's one more look at him this morning as you get ready to head out. Again, he was last seen wearing all black. Police are reminding you if you see him, don't approach him, but do call 911. And this morning we have learned the officer's surgery was successful and will be okay. A Crime Stoppers reward is being offered for information that will lead to the suspect's arrest. Now to Angelina County, one person is dead and 2 are injured after a shooting that happened around 2 a.m. Sunday. Investigators say Perry Lynn Dixon from Lufkin fired several shots at a party. This happened in the area of El Paso Road, right outside of Diboll. When deputies arrived, they found 3 people shot. One of those was 19-year-old Luis Alonso Torres of Hudson, who died from a gunshot wound to the chest. 2 teens, ages 17 and 15, were also hit, but they're expected to be okay. Deputies tracked Dixon to an apartment on Lazy Oak Street, where they found him hiding under a bed. A search turned up a Glock 9mm pistol stashed in an air vent that's believed to be the murder weapon. Dixon is now in the Angelina County Jail charged with murder. More charges are expected. Let's get over to Joel now with an update on your forecast.
Yeah, we got a cold start to the day, but by this afternoon, it's going to be warming up quite a bit. We're expecting middle 70s with lots of sunshine here. And as we take a look at future temperatures here, there we go. Temperatures starting out in the upper 40s for your Tuesday. And then we make a run for the middle 70s. Once again, you see that south wind holding on. That's going to be bringing in some warmer temperatures on top of an area of high pressure. Upper 40s to low 50s for your Wednesday morning, and then upper 70s to low 80s for your Wednesday afternoon. As we continue on through the rest of your 7-day forecast, 80s continue all the way through the rest of the week and into your Saturday. And then a strong cold front moves in, putting temperatures in the 70s by Monday.
Welcome back to Morning Y'all on CBS 19 Plus. This is what's coming up in our second half hour. Controlled chaos for a good cause. Hundreds of pets got free vaccinations and microchips in Gregg County. Coming up, how the community came together to keep animals healthy and at home. And the government shutdown stretches into a second month, and now a battle over health care subsidies could drive premiums even higher. What this means for millions of Americans.
We're talking about some above average temperatures with temperatures possibly in the 80s. We'll take a look at the latest trends in your full forecast coming up on Morning Y'all on CBS 19 Plus.
Together, we're putting East Texas first. You're watching Morning Y'all on CBS 19 Plus.
Good morning, y'all. I'm Dana Dixon. Jesus Martinez has the morning off. Thanks so much for joining us. Well, all Jacksonville ISD schools will be closed today. This is for students' safety. It comes as a manhunt continues this morning for a suspect who is accused of shooting a Jacksonville police officer in a K-9 Sunday afternoon. Jacksonville ISD said a large area near several of their facilities will be inaccessible for those bus routes, which would have prevented many families and students from traveling safely to school today. So that prompted the district to close all Jacksonville schools today. Now we want to give you a look at who police are looking for this morning. This is 64-year-old Bobby Michael Dennis. He was last seen wearing all black clothes and maybe driving a gray 2012 GMC Sierra with the license plate TRW 3919. Police say he's armed and dangerous. If you see him, do not approach him. Now, this all started just after 4:30 yesterday. Happened near Lincoln Park, that's along Churchill Street. CBS 19 was on the scene, and this is what it all looked like. Heavy police presence from Jacksonville PD, the Cherokee County Sheriff's Office, and DPS. The SWAT team was focusing on a shed where they thought he may be. After a short time, though, they determined he was not there. Residents are being asked to stay vigilant and to keep their doors locked while the search for the suspect continues. Now to Angelina County, one person is dead and 2 others injured after a shooting that happened there around 2 a.m. on Sunday. Investigators say Perry Lynn Dixon from Lufkin fired several shots at a party. It happened in the area of El Paso Road, right outside of Diboll. Now, when deputies arrived, they found 3 people shot. 19-year-old Luis Alonzo Torres of Hudson died from a gunshot wound to the chest. 2 teens, ages 17 and 15, were also hit, but they're expected to be okay. Deputies tracked down Dixon to an apartment on Lazy Oak Street, where they found him hiding under a bed. A search turned up a Glock 9mm pistol stashed in an air vent that's believed to be the murder weapon. Dixon is now in the Angelina County Jail charged with murder. More charges are expected. Multiple animals were seized from a Henderson County residence. The operation took place on Lawrence Street in Trinidad on Friday night, following reports for the welfare and living conditions of several animals at the home. The animals were taken to the Athens Vet Clinic for care and evaluation. Well, canines and cats invaded Longview's Mod Cop Convention Center Sunday to receive a little complimentary care courtesy of Longview Paws and the Longview Animal Care and Adoption Center.
So today we're offering a free vaccination and microchip clinic to Gregg County residents. We've really challenged ourselves today. So we're doing it from 1 to 4, and our goal is 400 animals. So we're shooting for 300 dogs, 100 cats. So these animals are actually getting full medical exams when they come in. They're getting a full set of vaccines as well as a microchip, and it's all free. You're looking at minimum of $100, probably closer to $200 if you were to go to a veterinarian and have that done. So it's really, really a great service that we're able to offer, and all of that is due to donations that we get from the community.
It is a little chaotic. We have a lot of volunteers. We have some amazing community clinics that stepped up to help us out. We have spouses, friends, neighbors, everybody here to be a part of it. We have had a line outside since about 10:30 this morning. It is controlled chaos, it is great chaos, and it is beneficial chaos.
Oh, buddy missed out being on CBS 19 like last.
Look at that.
Oh my God. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness.
There is a lot of need. Being able to offer this to them to help them out and say, hey, we're here, we got you. It's incredible.
Well, I feel like right now, especially times are tough. People are struggling. They're trying to decide between feeding themselves and their animals, and we don't want animals to go without. So if we can provide something, a helping hand, in order to keep these animals happy, healthy, and at home, that's what we want to do.
Look like a great day out there. Well, now being day 34 of the government shutdown, we're just one day shy of the all-time record and no end appears to be in sight. In an interview with CBS News 60 Minutes, President Trump pointed blame at Democrats. It's his first in settling a lawsuit with Paramount, CBS News parent company, over a 2024 Kamala Harris interview. The settlement did not include an apology. CBS News' Jared Hill has more from New York.
Nice to see you.
In a sit-down with 60 Minutes, President Trump said the shutdown will end when congressional Democrats give in or Republicans change the rules.
The Republicans have to get tougher. If we end the filibuster, we can do exactly what we want.
That's the 60-vote threshold that pushes lawmakers toward compromise. Democrats are demanding a spending bill that extends Affordable Care Act subsidies with premiums set to skyrocket at the end of the year.
He ought to go ahead and put America first and sit down with us. Deal with the health care shortage.
President Trump doubled down on his vow to negotiate only when the government reopens.
I'm not going to do it by being extorted by the Democrats.
The stalemate has placed millions of SNAP recipients in limbo and led to delays at the nation's airports as federal airport employees reacted to being forced to work without pay. A new CBS News poll shows a growing number of Americans are concerned about the impact of the shutdown. Disapproval of how the president is handling the shutdown has also ticked up, with people blaming both parties evenly. In the interview, President Trump also defended the surge in immigration raids.
I think they haven't gone far enough because we've been held back by the judges.
And celebrated future cooperation with China on trade.
I think we can be bigger, better, and stronger by working with them as opposed to just knocking them out.
Last week, the president ordered the Pentagon to resume nuclear weapons tests, though he told 60 Minutes he's discussed denuclearization with Chinese President Xi Jinping and Russian leader Vladimir Putin. Jared Hill, CBS News.
And this week, the U.S. Supreme Court will also hear arguments challenging President Trump's use of tariffs. Critics accused him of overstepping his authority. In a 60 Minutes interview, the president argued that the country will be immeasurably hurt if the high court invalidates its tariffs. All right, check this out. Sneak peek at some of the new balloons that will be flying over the streets of Manhattan on Thanksgiving. Volunteer handlers did a test run Saturday in East Rutherford, New Jersey, ahead of the 99th annual Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. Some of the balloons seen included Mario, Pac-Man, Buzz Lightyear, and Shrek. The balloons are as tall as 3- and 4-story buildings. You can see some of those balloons at New Classic at Macy's.com. And of course, you can also see them during the parade set for Thursday, November 27th. You know what? It's appointment TV for me every Thanksgiving.
There you go. Yeah, I'd love to be one of the ones to hold those balloons.
Wouldn't that be fun?
That would be kind of fun.
I feel like if it's a windy day, though, it could be dicey.
Oh, that could be indeed dicey. Very windy.
All right, check this out. Dodgers fans took to the streets of Los Angeles Saturday night to celebrate the team's second consecutive World Series victory. The Dodgers beat the Toronto Blue Jays in a dramatic 11-inning 5-4 win. Celebrations took place across the city, including Echo Park, where hundreds of fans gathered at a closed intersection, and fans will get to celebrate even more because this morning there will be a World Series parade to celebrate those boys in blue. Many are saying it's one of the best World Series they've ever seen.
That is, I mean, that's amazing. I remember just the 18-inning. That's essentially 2 baseball games.
That's crazy.
18-inning
You
game.
know they were tired. They deserve that. Both of them deserve to feel good about themselves.
Right.
All right, today is National Sandwich Day, and it honors John Montagu, the 4th Earl of Sandwich, who is credited with creating the first sandwich. There's one right there.
Ooh, yeah.
It's the perfect Monday to enjoy this classic food item. Do you have a favorite sandwich, though?
I love turkey and cheese sandwiches with
That's
a little bit of mayo.
Okay.
And maybe some, like every time I go to Subway, I get like either turkey and cheese or ham and cheese, put on a little bit of lettuce, maybe some mayo.
For me, it's definitely an Italian sub. So good with all those different meats and a little bit of the oil and vinegar on top.
Sure. I also like the, what do you call it? The The meatball subs, those are pretty good too.
Oh, okay. I don't get those as much. Kind of rich for me, but you give me an Italian sub and I am happy and good
She's all
to go.
in. There you go. I love it.
All right, celebrate Sandwich Day, if you will, today.
Yes.
All right, Joel. Think we're tracking a traffic alert this morning?
We are, yeah. Let's take a look at what we have. We do have a traffic alert for you this morning. As Dana said, both east and westbound lanes of Interstate 20 are closed this morning southeast of Dallas due to a crash. So we are going to be keeping an eye on that as we go forward here. Let's take a look at your I-20 report. Interestingly enough, the drive times over to Dallas actually remain the same despite having to make a little bit of a detour on US 175. So that's some good news there, but certainly want to heed those detours as you go forward. But eastbound over to Shreveport should be a-okay as we go on eastbound I-20. But US 69 still going to be okay. We got an hour, or excuse me, 2.5 hours up to Denison and an hour and 30 minutes down to Lufkin. So nothing too abnormal there. Some of the other routes here across the area, 55 minutes from Jacksonville to Nacogdoches. Then Tyler to Longview this morning is a 40-minute commute. Tyler to Palestine this morning is a 55-minute commute, and it's going to be about a 45-minute commute for you to get from Tyler to Athens. Weather-wise, we're doing just fine. We've got blue skies here across the area. We do have some very dense fog further to the north over Mount Pleasant, down to 0 miles of visibility. Perhaps a little bit of light haze in some of the other parts of the area, but all in all, we're looking just fine visibility-wise, looking at 10 miles of visibility all across the board. So I'm giving you green times 3 for today. 30s and 40s are what we're starting off with. Then we'll make a run for the 70s for this afternoon, giving you green times 3 for this afternoon with lots of sunshine and dry conditions.
Thank you, Joel. Open enrollment through the Affordable Care Act has begun, but many Americans may actually be shocked that the prices for 2026. Insurers are charging a lot more, and that number could skyrocket for low-income families if lawmakers don't extend those federal subsidies that cut their cost. Jen Sullivan explains just how much more you could be paying for health insurance.
The government shutdown is now in its second month. At the center of the battle on Capitol Hill, healthcare subsidies that make insurance more affordable for millions of Americans. Those tax breaks, though, are set to expire. Democrats want to see them extended.
Ripping healthcare away from millions of Americans is unpopular.
More than 24 million people have health insurance through the Affordable Care Act, also known as Obamacare. And roughly 92% of enrollees receive federal tax credits to help lower their monthly costs. Renewing the subsidies would cost $35 billion every year for the next 10 years. Many Republicans say they won't negotiate the subsidies question until enough Democrats approve a spending bill to reopen the government.
Get this thing open. We have shown in good faith that we will do the appropriations process.
Regardless of subsidies, the cost of health insurance through the Affordable Care Act will jump. KFF, a nonprofit focused on health policy, recently looked at monthly costs for health care coverage and found ACA insurers are raising premiums by roughly 26% next year. But if you take away subsidies on top of the increases, the costs will be even higher.
We're expecting that on average, premium payments are going to more than double. That's a 114% increase.
KFF says average monthly premium costs could go from $888 to as much as $1,904 in 2026.
I have people who are sitting at home in Massachusetts right now looking at their new health care premiums and trying to decide between health care and rent.
Federal tax credits are set to expire at the end of the year. I'm Jen Sullivan reporting.
Coming up, a local credit union's giving back in a big way to families who may be struggling this holiday season. How Kilgore is making sure no one goes without. Next. The Credit Union of Texas celebrated the opening of a Kilgore branch on Saturday morning with a ribbon cutting and much more.
When there's a grand opening, usually the focus is on the place that's doing the opening. In this case, a new Kilgore branch for the Credit Union of Texas. But Saturday, the focus wasn't on them. It was on people in need.
This was a way to alleviate a little bit of stress off of some people to get ready for Thanksgiving and Christmas, and give them a reason to sit around the table and be blessed, and feel blessed.
The Credit Union of Texas passed out 100 hams and 300 turkeys Saturday on a first-come, first-served basis. All of this coming as the prolonged government shutdown impacts families who rely on food assistance programs.
I think that this year has been a little rough on some people.
The shutdown is threatening the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP. CBS News reports that 2 federal judges ruled on Friday that the Trump administration is required by law to pay at least partial SNAP benefits.
For me, I'm a single mom with 3 kids, 3 boys, so any little bit of help I can get is very, very useful.
Alicia Rye says she is not on food assistance, but she has friends who are.
Yeah, trying to help them out as well and maintain my own household, it gets a little rough.
But even during the tough times, the city of Kilgore is looking out for its own.
In Kilgore, we are a very close community, so helping our neighbors, helping our friends is a great thing.
In Kilgore, Will Riddell, CBS 19.
If you or anyone you know is struggling with food insecurity, head over to the Find Food tab on the East Texas Food Bank's website to find resources in your area. Let's get another check of your weather as you get ready to tackle this Monday. It's a tale of 2 forecasts, really.
It really is. For this morning, we're definitely starting off on the cool side, cold side, I would even say. 30s and 40s are what we got for this morning. And then before we know it, we're going to be jumping into the 70s for this afternoon. Lots of sunshine. Going to be a fantastic forecast going forward. Just going to be a little bit above average, I should say, quite the opposite of below average here. High pressure in our upper levels is really what's going to be responsible for that. We also have some high pressure even at the surface. So you just combine the 2 of those. We are very, very not only above average with our temperatures, but we're also very dry precipitation wise over the next 6 to 10 days. Temperatures as we head into Tuesday, starting out in the upper 40s. You got that south wind holding on at around 5 to 10 miles per hour. That's bringing up some warmer air. So you combine that with the high pressure. I mean, it's a recipe for warm temperatures all across the area. 70s for tomorrow, and then we're down into the upper 40s to low 50s this time. So a little bit of a warmer start for your Wednesday. And then before you know it, we got upper 70s to low 80s for the afternoon. And that trend will continue all the way through the rest of this week. Look at our 10-day forecast here. 83 all the way from Friday to Saturday, and then a bigger cold front comes through Saturday into Sunday. We got temperatures falling to the 70s and even upper 60s once again. So it'll feel a little bit more like fall for this weekend and into next week. We just got to get past this ridge of high pressure. Now, as I said, this ridge of high pressure also keeping us dry, not a drop of rain expected within the next 7 days. It's a very dry forecast. If anything, it'll be raining sunshine as we go forward here. And a couple of clouds will be a possibility Thursday into Friday. That's going to be due to the humidity kind of increasing just a little bit, but we're not, again, expecting any rain out of this at all. 80s all the way through the weekend, and another cold front that we're going to be watching into Sunday.
All right, daylight saving time is here. I don't know if you love it or you hate it, but some people actually do love their extra hour of sleep, while others wish that it would, stay light a little bit longer. I'm kind of in that category. So while your phone and other devices update automatically, the clocks around the house, well, they just don't. So that means that some of us forget to update some of those. Do you have a go-to that every year, like, man, I forgot to update that again and it got me?
I would say, the only one, like I was saying earlier, is the car clock. But at this point, I now own a vehicle that does it automatically. So I guess that's not, for me, it just does it automatically. I don't know how.
Mine did not, and I kind of thought that it would. It seems smart, but not that smart. It did not update.
Yeah, I have a Jeep. I don't know if that's a Jeep thing, but it's interesting.
Well, good for you. For me, it's definitely the ones in the kitchen, you know,
Yeah.
whether that's the coffee pot or the oven or also the microwave. You got to go in and manually do those. So sometimes I forget to do those.
Yeah, sometimes, yeah. I will say another thing, and I kind of dread changing this clock, but I have a little mantle clock that's analog, and you have to, it's old school, it's like 1980s, 1990s style, where you have to like sync the chimes, because it chimes as well. You have to sync the chimes. You got to wait every,
That's
every
tough.
time. That's the toughest thing. So
I forgot the one in my closet, which is like my backup. Like if I don't my phone doesn't wake up. Yeah, that one went off an hour early this morning, but it's all right. All right, you can go over to our Facebook page, tell us what you think about daylight saving time. Of course, we're about to step away to break into our over-the-air broadcast.
Broadcast.
We're
going broadcasting, yes.
Yes, we're going to have a news update for you. We'll be right back here on CBS 19 Plus. Good morning, y'all. I'm Dana Dixon here with your morning news update. A developing story that we continue to follow for you this morning. A manhunt in Jacksonville is underway for a man accused of shooting an officer and a canine, and that prompted all Jacksonville ISD schools to close today for student safety. Jacksonville ISD said a large area near several of their facilities would be inaccessible for their bus routes, which would prevent many families and students from traveling safely to school today. So they made that decision. Now to the latest in the suspect search. Police are looking for 64-year-old Bobby Michael Dennis. He was last seen wearing all black. He may be driving a gray 2012 GMC Sierra with license plate TRW 3919. Police say he's armed and dangerous, so do not approach him. This all started just after 4:30 yesterday near Lincoln Park along Churchill Street. CBS 19 was first on the scene. This is what it looked like. A heavy police presence from Jacksonville Police, the Cherokee County Sheriff's Office, and DPS. Now, if you live in Jacksonville, you're being asked to stay alert and keep your doors locked. Here in East Texas, emotions are running high as federal funding for SNAP hangs in the balance. To meet an expected growing demand in the area, the City of Longview, local nonprofits, and faith-based communities are launching a community-wide emergency food drive to stock pantries and lift spirits. And you can join them. It's happening this Friday, November 7th from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. at the Longview Convention Complex. It's a one-day drive-through donation event. They're collecting non-perishable foods, hygiene items, and baby supplies. According to the East Texas Food Bank, around 18,000 people in Gregg County rely on the funding, and they're asking for donations from anyone who's able. Mayor Kristen Ishihara says the crisis has exposed just how many families rely on these programs every single day.
Now is the time. There's no better day than today to get involved for your very first time, whether that's because you have a need today, but you can fill a need next month. You need to get involved in your community and know what the needs are so that you can be there to help serve when your time is right.
Inflation that's affecting all these people. We have a number of families that have never had to rely on emergency food service before, a number of families that have never had SNAP taken away from them, especially during this time of year when we want to focus on giving thanks and helping our neighbors. It's just a tough situation.
You can also donate funds online through the Greater Longview United Way. All right, let's get over to Joel now with an update on your forecast.
Yeah, we got temperatures starting out in the 40s and 50s, even 30s in some spots, but we'll be in the 70s before you know it with a lot of sunshine here. We are going to be starting off again in the 40s for tomorrow. We'll make another run for the 70s for tomorrow afternoon, then dropping down once again into the upper 40s to low to mid 50s. So a little bit of a warmer start for us on Wednesday. Still a lot of sunshine here holding on. And then again, we make a run actually for the upper 70s to even low 80s in some spots. So the temperatures, they just keep on increasing. Here's your 7-day forecast, just showing you how those temperatures are going to be just climbing. And then we have a strong cold front that will be coming in as we head into Sunday. We go from 83 to 72.
News before you head out the door this morning. All Jacksonville schools will be closed today for safety precautions due to that manhunt that's still underway this morning for a suspect who took off after shooting a Jacksonville police officer and a canine Sunday afternoon. Now here's a look at police who they're looking for this morning. It's 64-year-old Bobby Michael Dennis. He was last seen wearing all black clothes, maybe driving a gray 2012 GMC Sierra with license plate TRW 3919. Police say he's armed and dangerous. If you see him, do not approach him. 2 federal judges ruled the White House must keep the SNAP program funded using emergency reserves, while President Trump says he's asking lawyers how to legally continue those payments. And lawmakers, well, they remain deadlocked with Democrats and Republicans still at odds. 34 days into the shutdown, there is still no sign of serious negotiation. And the city of Tyler announced over the weekend that areas of Southeast Loop 323 between Altamira Drive and Fairfax will be closed today through November 20th. This is so crews can perform dirt and concrete work in the median. The closures will happen from 8:30 in the morning until 4:30 in the afternoon. Outside of that time, those lanes will be open.
All right, before we get into your forecast, we want to give you one more reminder of a traffic alert this morning. Both east and westbound lanes of Interstate 20 are closed this morning, southeast of Dallas due to a crash. That's going to be on I-20 westbound around that US 75 junction right there. So that's going to be the detour. If you want to head into Dallas, make sure to get off onto US 175 because I-20 is going to be closed right there. Let's take one more look at your 7-day forecast. We got 70s on tap for today and for tomorrow, and then we make a run for the 80s on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and yes, even Saturday. And then we got a strong cold front that will be moving through Saturday afternoon into Sunday. We want to see a huge drop in those temperatures from the 80s all the way down to the low 70s.
All right, I want to tell you something good today. The Rosamond Gifford Zoo turned Halloween leftovers into enrichment on Saturday during its annual squishing of the squash event. Visitors watched as tigers, camels, elephants, primates, and more romp, stomp, and chomp those pumpkins of all sizes across the zoo. Looked like they were having fun. The pumpkin smashing featured feedings and play sessions throughout the morning and those early afternoon times. They look like they enjoyed it. That one chowing down.
Just chowing down. It definitely falls under the chomp.
The chomp category. I'd be more of the stomp because I'm just not a pumpkin fan, but they look cute.
Yeah, they do. I had a friend in college. He just basically chucked it at the ground. So I don't know what the category that is. Just smash, I guess.
It's the chunk the pumpkin.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. Thanks so much for continuing your day with us here on Morning Y'all on CBS 19 Plus. You can catch the noon show coming up a little bit later on CBS 19 and CBS 19 Plus as well. And keep it here for the latest news, weather throughout the day. Here's a schedule of what you can watch on CBS 19 Plus. Hope you have a good morning.